What's going on, champs and champettes? It's FireMonkey here, and what if I told you that there was a glitch with an item shop in a video game that if you purchased a very specific cosmetic for $20, you would actually be purchasing yourself a 30-day ban that would keep giving you a 30-day ban over and over and over again every single time you had equipped the skin in the game. Well, that is the case for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and as you can see, we're logged into it right now, so let's go ahead and talk about everything. So firstly, you might be like, why would a skin give you a ban in the game? If we look over here, I will be honest, I've kind of suckered up and purchased some cosmetics in the game. You know, I bought Homelander, I bought Snoop Dogg because it's Snoop Dogg, alright? I gotta buy him in the game. But of course, you know, I've bought a few goofy cosmetics here and there. You know, I have the current battle pass, all that type of stuff. But one thing I don't really own too much of is a lot of these store items, right? You have like the Tomb Raider Tracer bundle, you have Nicki Minaj, 21 Savage, this hip and hoppin' bundle where you can be like a bunny in Call of Duty and everything else. There are a lot of bundles in the game that I personally haven't purchased because I haven't really decided, oh, this is something I want to spend money on. You know, the closest I've ever gotten to wanting to spend money on something in this game has been this right here, being the Crash Bandicoot pack, just because, you know, I think it's kind of funny having a gun that whenever you shoot and eliminate an opponent, if it actually wants to show the preview here, they kind of explode into, you know, just some Wumpa fruit and stuff like that, right? I think that is a very funny thing, and that's probably the closest I've ever gotten recently in order of like purchasing something in Call of Duty, but I've still refrained from actually doing it. However, there was a bundle that was supposed to release on December 25th, 2022, being called the Hear No Evil bundle you're seeing an image of on screen right now. This included 8 items, including this Jungle Fog skin, 2 different weapons, you know, a vehicle, actual like design, camo, whatever else. You got a charm, a sticker, an emblem, all that type of stuff. You know, you had some nice little cosmetics here and there scattered throughout. And keep in mind, this is a $20 bundle, aka 2,400 COD points, and this was supposed to release December 25th on, you know, like 8 a.m. Eastern time or something like that, and it never actually released on consoles and PC. For some reason, this bundle did legitimately release on Warzone Mobile for a few hours, and you were able to purchase it. While it never released anywhere else, it was one of those things where, you know, Activision themselves was like, oopsie, and they released it on one platform, being Warzone Mobile, which is currently in its like beta testing stages right now. It's very invite only right now, and if you manage to purchase this through Warzone Mobile, either by having an APK, having normal access, whatever else, you were able to use it on PC and on console in normal Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2.0 because of the fact that the cosmetics carry over. It has the whole entire cross progression, cross play type of stuff due to it being linked to your Activision ID. However, due to the fact that this bundle has never legitimately released except for the accident that they put on Warzone Mobile for a few hours, it was technically deemed by Activision to be a unreleased, you know, unusable bundle or whatever. And even if we go to the operators tab and we click on the operator that would have had this cosmetic, being Axel, and we look at the cosmetics they have, it doesn't exist. There is no Jungle Fog skin here that you're able to actually equip on Axel at all. And maybe that's one of the situations where it's like, you know, they tried removing any traces of the bundle or whatever from the files so that, you know, no one actually sees this unreleased skin that they're never going to release or something along those lines. However, it's recently been brought to people's attention that if you have the operator skin equipped, it will instantly give you a 30-day temporary ban on Call of Duty, and that will go towards Modern Warfare 2, towards Warzone, and even Warzone Mobile, meaning you get a 30-day ban on 3 different technical games. You know, they're all combined in one Call of Duty universe or whatever, but you get a ban on 3 different games just for having legitimately purchased a bundle on mobile and equipping it in-game. Now, I have seen some people kind of talk about this, and I thought about it in a few ways, right? You know, it's something where it's like, one, you know, you're equipping the bundle and it's giving you a 30-day ban that's looping over and over again, to the point where, you know, if you actually let the ban expire and then you equip the skin again, boom, you get another 30-day ban on top of it. But it's like, why is the skin actually giving you a ban? The reason why I think it's giving people a ban is because this is Activision's way of trying to stop data miners or, you know, people who manipulate the code from actually using and flexing unreleased cosmetics in-game by being like, hey, this is technically supposed to be unreleased, so if you're using it, that is, you know, ban worthy because no one should actually have this legitimately. And on paper, you know, it makes sense. It's a very understandable method on paper on how to deal with this whole entire situation by making it so if a cosmetic that's not supposed to be equipped gets equipped by people, it's going to be made so that person gets a 30-day ban while Activision can look into the account, make sure that, you know, they didn't actually do anything malicious, they're not actually manipulating the code or anything, to help prevent people from using stuff such as, you know, unlock services or whatever whatever to unlock every cosmetic in the game on other people's accounts. However, at the exact same time, I feel like there has to be some more checks or something put in place for this type of situation, because as we know, this bundle released all the way back in December of 2022, and yet it's still causing these bans, right? And only just recently are people finding out that the reason they're getting shadow banned for months on end is because of a bundle they bought in game, right? This isn't like a new situation that's only just now being brought to light. It has been a situation where, while it hasn't been, brought to light previously, it's only just now being discovered that the reason people are getting these shadow bans and, the reason behind everything is because of them having purchased a bundle due to a mistake by Activision in their own game. And I think that is a very fascinating situation overall. I forgot I have my flashbang set to be completely black instead of white, but I think it's a very fascinating situation because it's something where the normal person may not ever notice it, right? They may just think that they're having some Wi-Fi issues, maybe their account is bugged or something like that, and the normal person who might have just bought this isn't on social media as much might still be affected by this whole entire ban system to this day for a bundle that they had purchased through the mobile version of Call of Duty because Activision themselves had released it in the game. And it makes me wonder, should there be more checks in place on how these bundles are being obtained? Should there be something more to make it so you're not getting banned just for equipping a skin in the game? And shouldn't there just be some type of check, added somewhere along the line? Maybe even something about, the fact that the skin hasn't released to this day normally, except for that one, error by them on, the mobile version. Maybe they should have just removed the cosmetic from the game so that this issue wouldn't lay under the radar, causing people to get fake bans or whatever else for months upon months on end for absolutely no reason, right? Maybe they should have just removed it from the files. There's a lot of maybes of what they should have done, but what we do know is that, at least as of right now, this bug is still in the game, and it's only just now being brought to light that the reason people are getting these shadow bans and everything else is because of this one specific cosmetic bundle that only released on mobile. And it was originally supposed to release on every other platform on the 25th, but it just kind of never got added to the store. So it's leaving a lot of people in this awkward spot where they don't know what they should be doing, right? They don't know if they should reach out to Activision to be like, hey, can you guys help me? Can you remove this from my account or anything? And the only way for people to actually know how to prevent themselves from getting this constant shadow ban would be to quite literally not equip the skin, right? Because for some reason, if you own it and it's in your inventory, you don't get banned, right? But when you equip the cosmetic, that is when the ban gets applied to your account, and that's a little bit of an odder way of doing it, because it's like, okay, so do they not have checks for what you're owning in your inventory, but they have checks for what you currently have equipped in the game? How are they actually checking and, putting all these systems into place so that people don't have these situations happen to them, or, so that data miners, whatever else, don't actually use these unreleased cosmetics, and how can they improve it going forward? So I think it's a very interesting situation to see only just now being brought to light, to the point where, it's like, how did this even get discovered? Were there multiple people talking about shadow bans on Reddit or something that were like, yeah, I own this bundle or whatever, it's like, what cosmetics do you own? Were they trying to mix and match, try to find a similarity between each other? How is it taking this long for, people to actually figure out what's been going on? But also the fact that, it's been going on this long, and Activision themselves have never, removed the skin, they've never done any checks or anything to check, make sure everything was okay or whatnot. They've just kind of let this shadow ban be in place for so many months now, all because of them accidentally releasing a bundle at the accurate time they had advertised it releasing on the mobile store after, canning its release on other platforms before, right? It's just like, how are they going through this whole entire situation and making it this type of a mess where people don't really understand? I just kind of don't understand how it happens. As someone who data mines games and stuff, I both don't understand it and understand it at the same time. I don't understand it from the point of how are they making it, or why did they decide that this was the method they were going to do, which is just shadow banning people who decide to use unreleased cosmetics if they manage to obtain them. But also on top of that, why is it that it's gone under the radar this long, right? How did it even get found? There's so many questions I have about it, but I'll leave that to be the discussion point in the comments down below. What do you think about this entire situation? And how do you feel about a bundle that released 9 months ago, only just now being discovered to be shadow banning people's entire accounts? And I mean, I've heard stories on, Twitter and everywhere else, talking about how people thought their account were just bugs, so they started playing on completely separate accounts, making a brand new profile and everything else, just to continue playing the game that they love. And And come to find out, you know, it wasn't anything wrong with their account. The only thing wrong with it was Activision accidentally releasing a bundle and then deciding to ban people for the bundle that they had accidentally released. But with that said, my name is FireMonkey. Hope champs and champions enjoyed today's YouTube video. If you did, consider subscribing and support the content I create, and I will catch you guys next time with another upload. So, peace out.